4. Supernatural faith and its origins. But how can this take place? This question takes us back to our initial reflections on the structure of faith, since our reply consists of the affirmation that the Word of God reaches us through the mediation of men who have heard it and touched it, men who know Him at first hand, so to speak. In order to grasp this, we must reflect on the structure of knowledge and faith which we set out above. We said that while faith has the character of a non-autonomous knowledge, at the same time it involves a factor of mutual trust, whereby the knowledge of the other becomes my own knowledge. Hence, this factor of trust contains an element of participation. By means of my act of trust, I become a sharer in the knowledge of another. This is what we might call the social aspect of the phenomenon of faith. No one knows everything, but all of us together know what it is necessary to know. Faith constitutes a network of reciprocal dependence that at the same time is a network of mutual solidarity, where each one sustains the other and is sustained by him. This fundamental anthropological structure can also be seen in our relationship with God, where it finds its original form and its integrating center. Our knowledge of God is essentially based on this reciprocity, on a trust that becomes participation and is subsequently verified in the experience of each individual's life. The relationship with God is also, and indeed before all else, a relationship with men. It is based on a communion among men. We can also say that the communication that is specific to the relationship with God confers its most radical potential on human communication, raising it from the level of utilitarian interest to that level which is fundamental for the person. If I am to accept as my own this knowledge of others that I am offered, and to experience its reality in my personal life, it is of course necessary that I myself should be open to God. The voice of the Eternal can reach me through the mediation of the other person only if there is in me an organ capable of receiving it. In this sense, the shared knowledge of God that comes to me from others is more personal than the knowledge I share with the technician or specialist. The knowledge of God requires an interior vigilance, a spirituality, and an openness of the heart that becomes personally aware, in silence and recollection, that there exists a direct access to the Creator. Nevertheless, it is true that God does not disclose himself to an isolated ego. God does not accept a merely individualistic exclusiveness. Our relationship to him is linked to our brothers and sisters. At this point, an unexpected path opens up before us. We have said that what we call natural faith, by which we trust results that we cannot verify on our own, finds its justification in the knowledge of those who are familiar with the subject in general, or who have themselves examined one specific question. Although such a faith retains for the one involved its character as faith, it appeals nevertheless to what another has seen. When we spoke of the religious question at the beginning of this lecture, it appeared that precisely this decisive element was lacking in supernatural religious faith. That, at least, was the initial impression. Here, there is no one who sees how things are, and it seems that we are never anything else but believers. This seemed to be the core of the problem of religious faith. But now we must say that that impression was misleading. In supernatural faith, too, there are a multitude who live from a small number of persons, and this small number lives for the multitude. Similarly, in the things of God, we are not all like blind people who grope their way forward in the dark. Here, too, there are persons who are permitted to see. Christ says of the father of the great family of Israel, "Abraham saw my day and was glad." Christ is there at the very center of history as the great man who sees, and all his words flow from his immediate contact with the Father. As for us, the word that refers to our situation is, "He who has seen me has seen the Father." In its innermost essence, the Christian faith is a participation in this act whereby Jesus sees. His act of seeing makes possible his word, which is the authentic expression of what he sees. Accordingly, what Jesus sees is the point of reference for our faith, the specific place where it is anchored.